रसस्य तं प्रीतमना रसस्य तं प्रीतमना मैत्रेय प्रत्यभासत मैत्रेय प्रत्यभासत चोदितो विदुरैरैवम् चोदितो विदुरैरैवम् वासुदेव कथां प्रति वसस्य तं प्रीतमना मैत्रेय प्रत्यभासत
Shuddhavacha Chorito Viduryavaivam Vasudeva Katham Prati Prasasya Tam Pritamana Maitreya Pratyabhasata Shuddhavacha Chorito Viduryavaivam Vasudeva Katham Prati Prasasya Tam Pritamana Maitreya Pratyabhasata.
What power means? Sutta Vacha.
Shuddhavacha
Sutta Goswami said.
Shuddhavacha said
Chodita. Inspired.
Vidurena
By Vidura. Evam. Thus. Vasudeva. Of Lord Krishna. Katham. Narration. Prati. About. Rasasya. Praising. Tam. Him. Pritamana. Being very pleased. Maitreya. Saint Maitreya. Pratyabhasata. Replied. Sutta Goswami continued. When Vidura became inspired to hear of the activities of Lord Krishna in his various incarnations, Maitreya, also being inspired and being very pleased with Vidura, began to praise him. Then Maitreya spoke as follows. Suppose talk of Krishna Katha or topics about Lord Krishna or his incarnations is spiritually so inspiring that the reciter and hearers are never exhausted. That is the nature of the spiritual talks. We have actually seen that one can never become satiated by hearing the conversations between Vidura and Maitreya. Both of them are devotees, and the more Vidura inquires, the more Maitreya is encouraged to speak. A symptom of the spiritual talks is that no one feels tired. Thus, upon hearing the questions of Vidura, the great sage, Maitreya did not feel disgusted, but rather felt encouraged to speak at greater length. Om Jnana-Timirandhasya Jnananjana-Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri. Krishna Katha. Even after quite a long period they were discussing, but more they discussed, both of them became more and more inspired. In fact, Maitreya Muni is becoming more and more pleased with Viduru Maharaj, that you are wonderful, you are asking so nice about Lord Krishna, and he is getting inspired to talk. And Viduru Maharaj also, he wants to hear more and more. Just opposite we will see in the material world. Whenever there is material talk, and people feel bored. You see, if we go to classroom, the teacher will be thinking when my hour will be over, and the students will be more eagerly waiting when he'll finish his class and go. You see, so somebody is called for giving presentation, workshop. There's so many people will be sitting, and everybody will be thinking when this next time will come. The person also will be thinking, okay, let me finish this, and so many more things to attend. Those are just opposite in nature. People become more and more tired, bored, and discussing more and more about matter. But here we just see opposite. More they discussing, more they are getting enlivened, more they are inspired to hear more and more. Just opposite. That is the difference between spiritual and material. Prabhupada said this, chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is not material, it is spiritual. And he gave this example, that if somebody is asked to chant ordinary name, say for example Tom, say Tom, 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 just for 5 minutes, he will get headache. He will not like to do more of calling Tom. You see the devotees, they chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. More they chant, they actually getting more inspired to chant. They more feeling better, more feeling good, peaceful, connected, charged. Right? So that's the difference between material and spiritual. But material has beginning and end. But spiritual it keeps on increasing. Prabhupada gives this example, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. So there is an ocean in material world also, but the ocean never crosses its limits. But the ocean of transcendental bliss in spiritual world keeps increasing. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam. Ambudhi means ocean. The ocean of spiritual bliss, happiness is Vardhanam. It keeps increasing. But in material world we just see opposite. If we take one gulab jamun, eat it will be very nice. And eat two, very good. But when we go on eating 5, 6, 7, the same gulab jamun will not taste like before. The taste will keep reducing. At one point of time, we don't want to eat gulab jamun. Enough. But the spiritual nature is not like that. More we are tasting, actually we get more and more sweeter. We dive more deeply, then we actually derive more pleasure. That is the spiritual nature. Two things are there. The material things are, material happiness is both limited and for short time, flickering. And spiritual happiness is just opposite. It's unlimited and eternal. There's a difference between matter and spirit. So this is what we are noticing here, that both of them are getting inspired. Maitreya Rishi also and Vidura Maharaj, both of them are getting more inspired. Just when we are preaching to some people, we will also notice that especially if we are talking Krishna Katha, discussing about Krishna, see that we also want to hear or we want to say more, and that people also wants to feel good about talking this. And we are just discussing something intimately. This is this experience we would have sometime. All of us we would have that. We want to hear, we want to keep hearing. Sometime for chanting also. we are chanting nicely, then we want to chant more. I was speaking to one person who just started coming to temple, and he was earlier finding it difficult to chant 3-4 rounds. Now he said, I today, 2 days before he said, today I chanted 17 rounds, 18 rounds. Yeah, I said, very nice. Then on Sunday I was talking to him, he said, today I chanted 32 rounds. This was a new person. So he's chanting and he's getting the taste of chanting the holy name. So this is the barometer. We said how our chanting is, what is our quality of chanting? We are quality chanting we are doing. The barometer is we like to chant more. We are not chanting qualitatively, then we will try to keep the bag as soon as our round is over. We will be struggling. So we also notice here that why it's happened, even with the spiritual activities that we get sometimes bored or difficult, like for example chanting. Many times we see struggling to chant the holy name of the Lord. The name of the Lord is so sweet. So sweet it is. Rupa Goswami is describing the sweetness of the holy name, saying that whenever I chant this 2-syllable name, Krishna, then I find that there is so much nectar in this 2-syllable name, word Krishna, that this one tongue is not sufficient to hold that nectar, not sufficient to taste it. There is so much rasa is there that there should be millions of tongue to experience that rasa that his experience is sharing. And then it says further that, and when this 2-syllable word Krishna from the tongue leaves the tongue and enters into the ear hole, you feel that there is so much nectar that these 2 ears is not sufficient to hold that nectar. It's not at all sufficient. There's so much nectar is there. I just want to keep on chanting, to keep on hearing. It's not enough to have only 2 tongues. I should have millions of tongues, I should have millions of ears. So there is experience. And then when this 2-syllable word Krishna enters into my heart, then it conquers all the activities of the senses. The senses and the darkness inside the heart is completely removed, and I feel so peaceful. Mind becomes so peaceful. So it's describing how the names of the Lord is so sweet, so sweet. But we will see that when we chant the holy name and chanting our prescribed rounds, many times we will fall asleep, or we will going to challenge to chant. Why it's happening? Prabhupada says, give this analogy. A diseased person, he is having a jaundice. For him, the medicine is sugar candy. But whenever he takes sugar candy, the sugar candy is sweet. Sugar candy is sweet, but whenever he takes that sugar candy, it tastes bitter to him. Why is tasting bitter? Because he is having jaundice. This is a symptom of jaundice. The sugar candy is tasting bitter to him, and he does not want to take it because it is bitter. But what is the remedy? What is the treatment? Treatment is the doctor has prescribed him, you have to take the sugar candy. So sugar cane juice or sugar candy, whenever as long as he continues to take the sugar candy, slowly the disease is getting rectified, cured. And at one point of time disease is cured. Then sugar candy is naturally it is sweet, so he tasting the sweetness. But earlier the same sugar candy was tasting bitter. So similarly, at present, in this conditioned life, in this material world, we are in diseased state. And therefore, even the holy name, which is described so wonderful, so nectarian taste, we find it hard to take because of our diseased state. So what is this diseased state? Diseased state is foremost thing is envy, having envy towards the primarily towards the Lord, and then it extends to everyone else. Kama, lust. We're naturally supposed to serve, but we have so much envy that we want to take the service. We want to be the object of service. So sense gratification. Then, because that is not our natural position, we will be naturally frustrated. The anger, greed, pride. So all these things said that it is all contamination, virus. So virus. So because this virus is there inside us, this bacteria is there, therefore we are finding this chanting the holy name of the Lord is so difficult. But then solution is also this only, that one has to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastav, Nastav, Nastav Gatiranyatha. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way than the chanting the holy name of the Lord, than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord, than the chanting of the holy name of the Lord for spiritual perfection at this present age of Kali. So in chant the holy name of the Lord, we will get free from this disease, and then we will start experiencing this. To proportionate to the degree we are free from this contamination, we will experience the taste. Suppose if we are 1% free, then we will get that 1% taste. If we are 100% free, we will get that unlimited taste. Like Rupa Goswami is getting here, how Vidu Maharaj and Maitreya Rishi, they are all pure devotees of Lord, they are experiencing. So much experiencing that more they are discussing and more they are feeling like to discuss. They don't want to get up, they don't want to break it. So, the discussion Krishna Katha, by discussing this described about Krishna Katha, the nature of Krishna Katha is Hidyantrastoya Bhadrani Vidnoti Suhit Satam. This, by hearing Krishna Katha, at the core of our heart, Hidyantrasta, at the core of our heart, all unwanted things from the core of the heart is removed. Hidyantastoya Bhadrani Vidnoti Suhit Satam. It said that if we are seriously, sincerely we are hearing Krishna Katha, then heart is getting purified. Not we are having a time pass. We are utilizing the time, the best thing we are doing by hearing the Krishna Katha. We are cleaning our heart. And by yesterday we were hearing lecture from Prabhupada. He was telling, Prabhupada was telling that nothing is going to waste. If you have done 1%, you are doing so much service, you are trying to chant the holy name of Lord, some other way you are doing something. So say 1 cent you are getting pious activities. So this 1 cent is permanently you have, and then again you will do something, then again 1 cent you will accumulate. Like this 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent, then it will become 100 cent, you will become devotee, and you will go back to Krishna. So it's not going, nothing going to waste. Whatever endeavor we are putting, actually we are progressing towards our goal. नेहा विकमनासो अस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते स्वल्पम अपि धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात. Saves us from the greatest danger. Mahato bhayat. We get an opportunity again and again to perform devotional service. So that is so this important point to note that we may not presently get the taste for holy name or hearing Krishna Katha, but forcibly we should hear. Just like when we have some disease, then we go to doctor, then he will give injection. Anybody like to take injection? Especially small children, you give them injection. They will start throwing their hands and legs. Somehow a doctor very tactfully has to put the injection. Otherwise not possible. Nobody likes to take injection. It's painful. But then when the injection is given, after some time we feel good. So like that, we have to inject the holy name Krishna Katha through our ears. And it penetrates our ears and goes to our consciousness. We see it will get purified. So much purified, the same material world will look different to us. Will not be affected by these threefold miseries. We get vaccinated, immune even to the suffering in this material world. So this because by constantly keeping in touch with the holy name of the Lord, we transcend this material platform. We situate ourselves in spiritual platform. So because we are on a spiritual platform, the material miseries does not affect us. Seemingly it will look like we are affected by that, but because we are absorbed, our mind is absorbed in thoughts of Krishna, will not be affected. So wonderful. Therefore it is said, this topmost welfare activity to introduce Krishna Katha or holy name to someone is topmost welfare activity. What is the meaning of topmost welfare activities? Welfare activities which is meant for all the humankind. This is called topmost welfare activities. We chant the holy name of the Lord, everyone is benefited. Say that if we chant the holy name or we have discussion of Krishna Katha, the person who is discussing, the person who is hearing, the person who is inquiring, all of them are purified. The Ganges is flowing in these three worlds, this universe, upper planet, lower planetary systems, middle planetary, earthly planets, everywhere wherever Ganges goes, it purifies. Similarly, Krishna Katha purifies everyone. The topmost welfare activities, and it gives a permanent achievement. It's like if you feed somebody, again immediately you'll feel hungry. Give a cloth, after some time you'll need another cloth. But when we are introducing Krishna Katha to somebody, he is permanently benefited. Therefore it is said, the topmost welfare activity. So here you see that Sutta Goswami and Maitreya Muni, they are Maitreya Rishi and Vidur Maharaj is discussing when this is happening somewhere in end of Dwapar Yuga. Correct? Two pure devotees, they are discussing about Krishna Katha at least some 5,000 years before. But even today, everybody is getting benefited just by recalling this discussion. And for all the time to come, this will be so. It's not limited by the time. For it's all considered as the topmost welfare activities. So this should be our prime focus. We want to help somebody. This is the best thing we can do to bring them closer to Krishna by talking about Krishna. And this is the purpose of Krishna's appearing here also. Krishna is appearing here in this material world. Why is appearing? So that the conditioned soul is so much absorbed in the matter, somehow or other, to attract the mind of such a living entity. Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Nitai Gaur Sundar ki jai, Patit Pawan Prabhupada ki jai. So Krishna comes here and performs so many wonderful pastimes, and then people hear these pastimes and they think about him. And think about him and thinking about the Lord, they hearing about the Lord, they are becoming free from material bondage, birth and death, cycle of birth and death. Janma karma cha me divyam yo veti tattvata tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mam eti so Arjuna. So just by hearing Krishna's, understanding Krishna's appearance, his activities are all divya. By understanding this, one becomes free from cycle of birth and death. And Krishna is appearing here and performing this all wonderful leelas, so that we'll get attracted towards him. That is the main purpose of Krishna's visit. Yeah. Paritranaaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskitam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna is saying every millennium I am appearing. For what? Paritranaya sadhunam, to maintain the saintly people. How maintaining saintly people? How Krishna is maintaining saintly people? Just by performing these pastimes. Just by performing pastimes, the people who are participating in their pastimes, actually this is their life and soul. And when Krishna has disappeared, this all pastimes maintain all the sages, all the saintly people. So this is how Krishna's main purpose is to maintain the devotees. And then when he is coming, then side by side he kills demons. Paritranaya sadhunam vinasaya cha duskitam. And then he establishes the religious principles. But the main prime function, prime purpose of the Lord to visit is to maintain, to give pleasure to his devotees. And therefore he performs so many wonderful lila. And in this month of Kartik is so auspicious because the Lord has performed so many choicest of his pastimes. One of the pastimes is Damodar Lila. See that how the Lord is playing just like a small little Krishna in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaja, Yashoda Mai, and is attracting the minds of everyone. For whole universe, everyone is attracted, enchanted by Krishna's sweet pastimes. Everyone is talking about this. And this pastimes is talked so much that Krishna is being tied by Mother Yashoda. He is being completely controlled by Mother Yashoda. Actually, it becomes very difficult even to approach to Lord Krishna. You see that when all the devas were troubled by Asuras, and how earth as a cow went to Devas, and Devas along with Devas, he went to Brahmaloka, and from Brahmaloka Lord Brahma took everyone to bank of Kshir Sagar, milk of ocean, and there he is trying to petition all the Devas. They are trying to petition to the Lord, but no reply comes. There is no reply comes. Then actually Lord Brahma goes to the trance, and he meditates upon the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Chiro Dakshaya ocean. On the shore of the ocean they are having this all things going on. First all the devas they tried, they failed. Then Lord Brahma went into meditation, and then Lord broadcasted this message in the heart of Brahma, that I will be soon appearing and I will resolve all your difficulties. In the Braja Bhumi I will appear, and then he instructed all devas also should go and make preparations for me to, when I come there they should assist me. So then Brahma, when got this message, then he passed down this message to all the devas. See, so it is not so easy, to approach the Lord. Very, very difficult. And say yogis, they meditate. When they are in their perfection of meditation for many, many lives, ages together, they are able to approach the Nakakanti, the effulgence of the toenail, coming from the toenail of the Lord. So this is so rarely achieved. So it's not easy to approach the Lord. The same Lord comes so easily under control of his pure devotee. Just by giving small buttermilk, just giving proposal that small buttermilk, showing Krishna that we will give you this butter, we will give you this buttermilk. All gopis, they will ask Krishna to dance. And Krishna also will feel, oh, I want to eat that. And he will dance. And he will make so many steps. And then he will try to get that buttermilk and then butter. And there is no scarcity of butter and buttermilk in his house. But still Krishna is hankering to get that. So Krishna comes under full control of his devotees. So this pastimes actually enchants the whole of universe, that how source of everything, Sarva Karan Karanam, absolute truth, Param Satya, is being fully controlled by his pure devotee, whom we are never able to approach. So this is completely mystifying. People are not able to understand this, and when they practically see this happening, they are all amazed. This is what is bewildering everybody. It's how sweet pastimes the Lord naturally between the Lord and his devotees is taking place. This pastime, then how the Lord lifted Govardhana hill. This all pastimes is now being discussed between Vidura Maharaj and Maitreya Rishi, and how Krishna lifted the Govardhana hill. They are all getting ready to worship Govardhan, to worship Indra, because they want to appease Indra, because he has sent the rain and there was a good crop. So they want to appease Indra, and then Lord Krishna, there is no problem, Indra is worshipped, but Indra has become very puffed up. And Indra is also his devotee. So Lord wants to correct him, because he should not be puffed up. Artificially getting puffed up. He is thinking that I am sending the rain, but who is giving the power to Indra? Lord is only giving the power. He is only executing. Everything is supplied by the Lord, but he is simply getting pride. No, it's because of me. It's how ahankar vimudha atma kartaham iti manyate. Bewildered by false ego, everyone is thinking I am doing, but in actuality it is done. Prakirte kiyamanani guna karmani sarvasa. It is all orchestrated by the Lord. It is done through modes of material nature. But we are bewildered and thinking that I am the doer, and we want to take credit, and we feel so proud about it. So like this, Indra has become very proud, and the Lord mercifully correcting him. Personally he is doing it, so that he is saved. This is what attracts everyone. This is the Lord's affection towards his devotees. Is so affectionate towards Indra that he doesn't want to leave it. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is taking on himself to correct Indra, and then he goes and so sweetly talks to Nanda Maharaj, Nanda Maharaj is completely, they have prepared everything. But as Krishna is talking, they get all easily convinced him. Okay, Krishna is saying, so we will cancel this Indra Yajna. Now, what Krishna is asking us to worship Govardhan, okay, we will worship Govardhan. That's whatever Krishna says, they actually wants to do. They are getting more pleasure in this. And Krishna also describes that how we should worship Govardhana, telling that keep all the cows in the front and circumambulate Govardhan. And then all the ghee and everything you have collected to perform the sacrifices, use that for making different dishes. It says that so many dishes, it says rasgulla, gulab jamun, kachori, samosa, like that, hundreds of things. Starts the Lord immediately, whole menu, he says, is how, all use all these ingredients, don't let it be wasted. Make nice dishes, and then offer it to Govardhan. Then he describes, he says that feed the Brahmanas, and Govardhan, how to worship, fully he describes, and all the Gopas, they get ready, whatever they have prepared, everything they use for the worshipping now Govardhan. And then Lord, he himself assumes Govardhan, and he is accepting the offering. Now seeing this, Indra becomes very angry, because somehow or other Krishna has spoken in such a way that after hearing, surely Indra should become angry. Should surely become angry, like this only he spoke. So, rage is anger. And then Indra becomes very angry, and then he calls out. When we become angry, we forget what should be done, what should not be done. So he is calling all the deadly clouds to come, appear, and ordering, go and completely devastate the Vrindavan. Indra don't know what he is doing, but all the clouds, after hearing this, they all get very scared. What is this? The Krishna is not an ordinary person. We heard he is Vishnu. So they are all very scared. They don't want to go. But Indra is not going to listen. He is telling, don't worry, I will come along with you. I'll Airavat, and I'll come along with you. Let us see who is this little talkative boy Krishna. So he's trying to encourage, push them. All the clouds, they don't want to go, but he's pushing them because they are afraid. But what to do? Both sides is danger. They don't listen to Indra, also they are in difficulties, and if they listen, also they are in difficulties. So generally at this time, people will try to do okay. First, let us see Indra. Then only with Krishna we have to see. So they all agree, okay, we will go, and then he starts pouring the water. It says that water falls like a, speedy arrow. It's like not drop. Such a huge rainfall it has, and the whole Vrindavan is getting devastated. All the lands are becoming, labeled. And then how Krishna, he lifts the whole Govardhana hill on his little finger, and he gives protection to all the Brajavasis. They all with their everything, they just take the shelter of Govardhan hill, just act like an umbrella. And then Indra is trying hard to harm Krishna, but not even a blade of grass he is able to harm. Then only he is realizing, oh, I have done something, big mistake, blunder I have done. Then he is thinking, now what to do, how to correct. Then he is realizing, so all this is sweet pastimes, the reciprocation, dealings between Lord and his devotees. That's what is mesmerizing everyone. That so much love and affection is there, the exchange of that. And Lord, when Indra is coming, so the Lord also forgives him. And then how they come, all the devas, they come and give abhishek to the Lord. Just by pouring water upon the Lord, it says that the whole universe is actually gets nourished. Just they are pouring water upon the Lord, little Krishna, but the whole universe is filled with all kinds of minerals, all kinds of food stuff, everything. The whole thing is getting more richer and richer just by doing this. Like pouring the water at the root, it supplied everywhere. Just by giving Abhishek to Krishna, there is a prosperity popping up everywhere and all over the universe, and people are feeling so good, so clear in their thoughts. This is all secrets. This is what is being discussed by Viduru Maharaj and Maitreya Rishi, and they are experiencing. So, lesson to take is all pastimes of the Lord. Everything is very, very sweet, and we may not immediately get attracted because we have material disease. And the solution is just keep hearing this, and then we will also develop the attraction. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatham ki jai, Patit Pawan Prabhupada ki jai.